And back here in Nigeria, with the countdown racing towards the first vote in Saturday's governorship election in Ondo State, southwest of Nigeria, the Labour Party are currently licking their wounds following last Wednesday's disqualification of its candidate Olusola Ebiseni by the Court of Appeal, the Abuja Division. The three-member panel of justices, in a unanimous decision, with a lead judgment by Justice Hamabarka, delivered by Justice Adebukola Banjoko, held that the appeal brought by the Labour Party against the chief, Olusola Ebiseni, and two others are allowed. Justice Banjoko further added that the certified true copy of the judgment would be made available to the parties in the appeal as soon as possible for their review. A member of the Labour Party, Abayomi Arabambi, joins me now to have a look at the implications of this judgment so close to the opening of the polls on Saturday. Good to have you in the studio here. Welcome to Newsday.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon.
So unfortunately, one of the favorites at the start of the presidential election seems to be having a bit of a hiccup right now, and I'm talking about your party, the Labour Party. What do you have to say concerning the disqualification of your candidate for the governorship elections and how things could play out come this Saturday?
Well, thank you very much. I think I need to give insight, about what actually precipitated the matter in the Court of Appeal. Please
do, please.
Yes. Nigerians will recollect that, in Labour Party, there has been lies, deception, inordinate ambition, and especially tendencies, of our leaders. Most especially our presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, and Governor Salesoti. You will remember also that there was an issue between Julius Abure and Naji Apapa then.
We can't forget.
Yes, these two gentlemen said they will back Julius Abure and Alhaji Farouk Lawan leadership simply because they wanted unity and cohesion, within the party. And that matter dragged for over a year before the Court of Appeal finally set aside, the FCT court order that restrained Abure and the suspension. And after that, the same Governor Oti and Mr. Peter Obi fully funded that convention in any way. I repeat, because he was the deputy governor of Abia that was the chairman of that convention in any way that declared Abure, Farouk Lawan, and others legitimate tenure of another 4 years. Immediately, after that, an issue arose and they went on collusion with INEC, where INEC purportedly, in that the attendance of the national chairman, Julius Abure, and the national secretary from attending the INEC quarterly consultative meeting, which was what now prompted them to arrange themselves in Abia State by Mr. Peter Obi and Governor Lese, where they called something they call a stakeholder, which is alien, one, to our constitution, to the Electoral Act, and to the Constitution of Nigeria. Purportedly, they now dissolve the entire, structure of Labour Party. They said they have the power. And once again, they repeated this thing that, we are doing it because we want cohesion, we want unity, and we don't want Labour Party to be extinguished. That was their reason then. But being a law-abiding citizen, Julius Abure and Farouk Lawan and NWC went to Federal Court. And Justice Emeka Nwite, on the 8th of October, affirmed that convention was in line one with Section 82 of the Electoral Act, 1 to 5. It's in line with Section 43 of the Electoral Act. It's also in line with Section 251R and 285, 14C of the Constitution, and affirmed that leadership. This was what they did not agree. And they have initially set up their own caretaker committee. They now went ahead to sponsor an appeal against the leadership. The leadership has never for once up to today, went to court to sue any of these leaders. They were the ones that have been going to court. In between, all these shenanigans, what they did also was that they purportedly wrote a letter to INEC that they want to, that Labour Party has acceded to change our governorship candidate. in Ondo, that is Dr. Ayolorunfemi. Forgetting that Section 31 of the electoral said, you have to write. In writing, the candidate, in case of notice of withdrawal, the candidate must write, in a writing, you submit it to the chairman of the party, who in turn must convey that decision to INEC within 90 days. This was not adhered to. So somehow, they have their way at the federal court, and the candidate that had been published by INEC due to, the federal court judgment was removed by INEC, and they now substituted his name. Again, we have to go to appeal in Abuja, and the Court of Appeal agreed with the Labour Party appeal that, this judgment of the federal court, one, there was no fair hearing, because when you want to remove a candidate, it has to be joined. That's the spirit of fair hearing, and also they did not also comply with Section 31, because the notice they submitted to court was typed and it was not written, and somebody just append the signature of the governorship candidate and deputy governorship candidate. They were the reason, because before people now began to put judiciary in the eye of the storm, we are the center of the matter. We need to explain to the public what actually inspires our appeal and why the appeal was in our favor. It was because it ran contrary to Section 31. And also there was no fair hearing. And you will also remember when the federal court affirmed Abure, himself and Alhaji Farouk Lawan, they sued for peace. They asked Mr. Peter Obi, they asked the governor of Lesotho, please come, sheath your sword. Let us move this party forward. And we thought, that would be over until when there was an election in Abia State, where purportedly Zenny Labour Party that does not have 10,000 votes during the general election came forward to have 790 something thousand votes in local government election, when the entire vote of the governorship is less than 400,000 in the general election. Suddenly, the Labour now has 700 something thousand votes during the local government election, and Labour Party scored 0. This is where we are now asking questions, and which we are still going to ask today. What exactly do Mr. Peter Obi want? Because you said what you are doing, why we got a restraining order against Abure was because you wanted cohesion, you wanted unity, you do not want the party to be deregistered, or you don't want the party to be extinguished. Now that a court has affirmed that your mindset about living an individual that can bring about unity and cohesion within the party, why are you now sponsoring an appeal, with their NTC to court? Sponsoring an appeal that you want that matter set aside. You still want your NTC to take care. When you colluded with INEC, and INEC said, well, a judgment has come, we don't have a choice than to obey the judgment. Right. They were still sponsoring an appeal against the Labour Party. So really, we do not know what the two of them want in Labour Party, but as we speak, they are in appeal against the leadership. They just want to take the soul, they want to capture the soul of Labour Party for whatever that's been known to them, but
Right. Understandable. You've given an exhaustive rundown of the many issues within the Labour Party. But now I want to zone in on these elections that are coming up on Saturday. How is it going to affect them?
Well, our election is a straightforward case, because, thank God, Mr. Peter Obi was in Ondo, to campaign for Labour Party and all other officials. Though immediately, the judgment came, he abandoned the campaign and came back to Abuja. But we believe it's all about Labour Party, it's not about individual. The party contesting in election tomorrow is APC, PDP, Labour Party, and other. It is not about that individual. It is the party Nigerians, the people in Ondo State will cast their vote, for. So as far as we are concerned, we believe everything that we did before the name was changed will continue. And when the name was changed, ABCN also, Peter Obi and Lesotho, they continue the campaign. And where they stop now, we are going to bid on it and see what the electorate, will decide tomorrow, because it is the function. Winning of election is a function of the electorate, not the function of you that is participating. If they say they want you, fine. If they say they don't want the person, fine, you prepare for another day. But we know that at least with the leadership that we have in place, whatever that happens tomorrow, we'll take it as it's just a natural course. We'll continue to review the party until when we are able, to cause an upstage in 2027 because, of the kind of economy that we are witnessing. under the APC administration now.
And we know the chances, I mean, just being frank, the chances of a win for the Labour Party in Ondo this weekend are slim to none. Their incumbency usually takes the seat of the day, especially when it comes to governorship elections. But what do you make of the proposed mismanagement of goodwill and trust and excitement that the general public had for the Labour Party due to these issues that you have spelled out? I mean, you've talked about wanting reconciliation and cohesion. You've listed all the players that are running afoul of what you think should represent the party. So you guys don't look like PDP, who are a complete mess. What is the Labour Party doing step by step in order to make peace? Because it seems like there's quite still a lot of animosity between your camp and the Peter Obi camp and the, Alex Oti camp, etc. How do they move forward? How do you gain that trust back from the youth, who really were most of your followers and now are just audio followers on Twitter or X?
Well, first, my advice, first is to Mr. Peter Obi. He should know he contested election in 36 states of the Federation and Abuja. Governor Lesoti only contested election in Abia State. I do not subscribe to him taking instruction from Governor Lesoti. He needed to be broad-based. The candidate, the chairman of the party, Baza Julius Abure, and our secretary, NWC, we had a meeting, we have sued for peace, please, come. Or if you even invited us, okay, we'll come. Let us forge ahead. But the problem we have is most of these, obedient, who seems to be having the mind of Mr. Peter Obi, where they just, toss him up and down. But for me, I believe there is a way forward. We are not fighting with them. They are the ones that have been taking the party to court, whether the NLC or themselves. But because Arise TV is, an internationally reputed television, we are asking Mr. Peter Obi, come forward, let us discuss the way forward for our party, so that we will not lose, the trust of the Nigerians, youth and electorate that have implicit confidence that we can do better than the present administration. We must not do that trust. And I also want to say it clear that the leadership has been extending that olive branch to Mr. Peter Obi. Come forward, let us discuss. But the problem that we have is Governor Lesoti. He has a mindset for certain things that he wants to use Labour Party to do, which we have told him that we are not going into any form of political brigade with anybody. We would rather choose to go the way of the court, which we have done, which they have appealed, because he was the one that sponsored, all this crisis in Labour Party, calling people to stakeholder, claiming they dissolved that. We have never had that, we have never had the kind of issue until when Mr. Lesoti, he even made his own brother, his own immediate brother, state chairman of Labour Party in Abia. It is not done anywhere. It's not done. We shouldn't be doing things that PDP or APC are doing. We should be still to be very distinct. So the way forward for us is that we have asked for peace. Julius Abure and Farouk leadership have sued for peace. Even there's going to be next meeting by Zoom today. We are suing for peace. That come, let us discuss. Let's chart a way forward. It is not a question of you saying, no, I must have my way. I must have my way. Because most of the people that are even propagating, they are not member of our party. Most of these, they are chairman and secretary of the NTC. They are not member of our party. They just, they bring them up from PDP to come and take over our party. But, we don't have any issue with anybody, because in politics, everybody is important. But you just have to play the game by the rule. We have a constitution that everybody must adhere to. The national chairman is the leader of the party. He shall preside over any meeting of the party in conjunction with national secretary, not our president candidate, not governor, not senator or House of Rep. This is the dictate of our constitution. But we believe it's better now for us than never. We don't have to postpone this issue. It's better, but we are taking the bull by the horn by asking him to come forward. Let us discuss. But like I said, Mr. Peter Obi, I don't expect him to be taking instruction from Governor Lesoti. He did a lot. Governor Lesoti only contested in Abia State. But Mr. Peter Obi contested in 36 states of the Federation and Abuja. And he went around the entire state with Julius Abure, Farouk Lawan, and some of us there. So we expected him to stand in position of a leader. He must, stand his ground as a leader
Right.
in Labour Party and not, to be running up and down Abia State to go and ask Governor University, who only contested in Abia, for him to not be taking instruction, that would just be dividing us instead of uniting us.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Hopefully cooler heads prevail and the right thing is done so that the Labour Party can put itself back together. Abayomi, Arabambi, Labour Party chieftain, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you so much for having me.